Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been a total struggle for me to just get on to chapter 3. My life has been so crazy busy right now, but I am gonna be persist. However, this says endurance is a key, so that's what I'm gonna do. In the chapter 3 of the Mark Bible, this is a beautiful book, and I would love for you to catch up on chapter 1 and chapter 2 in my past videos. You can go back and watch them before you watch chapter 3 right now. Today's topic is sad news from home. Oh, mother, mother, Harold Wilson stood in the post office at Honolulu, holding in his hand a letter sent by an old friend in California. It read as follows: Friend Harold, we have been hoping for several weeks for your return home. We had heard indirectly that you were on the way home, and we were encouraged to believe you might come in time to be a support to your mother during her last illnesses. Several weeks ago, she had a heart fall, superinducing pneumonia. She made a brave fight, but her anxiety over you, coupled with financial reverses, proved too much for her and she passed away last Thursday. Her last request was that I should write to you and urge you not to forget the gift she placed in your box the day you left home. But you will know, of course, to what she referred. She will not tell me its nature, but she did say that it took all she had in the world to get it for you. By the way, my boy, since you left us, I have changed my whole course of life. No more drinking, gambling, or profanity for me. I am a Christian now, and I'm enjoying life wonderfully. God bless you. Don't be discouraged over your great loss. Live for Christ, and you will meet her again. I'm sending this to Honolulu at a venture. Your one time friend in booze, but now free. Howard Hoffman was his friend's name. Yes, Harold had been working his way homeward. For many years he had been absent, during which time he had seen much of the world, visiting Australia, China, South Africa, South America, and Europe. He had continued his hard life of drink, profanity, always planning to do better when he saw his mother again. He had thrown overboard his beautiful Bible in order to silence the voice of the reprover, but never once had he seen a day of peace. Somehow, the heartless ingratitude of that moment, when his anger caused him to destroy his mother's gift, had become a nemesis which seemed to trail his every step and to bring him only defeat and failure in all he undertook. Honolulu was almost home to him, and his heart was already beginning to enjoy a foretaste of the blessed reunion with mother. Like the prodigal of the scripture, he had formulated his confession, and he was confident to restore his mother. He should be able to make good. One day easily understand One may easily understand, therefore, what were his feelings as the letter from whom was placed in his hand. Feelings of deep heart satisfaction. But how cruel was the disappointment! The word she passed away last Thursday fell upon his soul as a bolt of lightning from out the blue. He was stunned. Oh, mother, mother, he cried, forgetting that all around him were strangers from whom he must hide his grief. And then, under his breath, he said, You wanted to help me. You could have helped me, but now you're gone, 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 gone. He picked up the missive and hurried into the street and down to the launch, and was to convey him and that was to convey him to his vessel. Harold Wilson, what will you do now? Will you be a man? as you ought to be, or will you absolutely and perhaps, however, throw yourself away? Such were the questions that something seemed to whisper in his ear. As he boarded the ship, which was to sail next day, the answer was at once forthcoming, but had to say it was an answer dictated by his lower nature. As with many others, inability to Harold's part to carry out his plan made him desperate and oftentimes apparently irresponsible. He had been acknowledging the existence of God, and he had planned that when with Mother he would lead a better life. But this thwarting of plans angered him, and he now determined to go deeper into wickedness than ever before. Wow. There is no God. If there is, he is only a brute, and I hate him. He hates me because he robbed me of my mother at the very time I needed her, really. Oh, I'll show him, if he lives, that Harold Wilson can outdo him. If he won't let me do right, I'll do wrong. And securely it seemed that from that day forward he succeeded in fighting his life to his resolution, for upon reaching San Francisco he abandoned himself to a course of riotous pleasure, licentiousness, and crime. His companions were of the baser elements of the city, versed in the business of law breaking, even to the extent of staining their hands with the blood of their fellow men. Howard Huffman, the writer of the message sent to Honolulu, picked up the Morning Chronicle as he glanced over the headings. His eyes was held by the following: Murder in the Mission District. Harold Wilson was a sailor held as a suspect. Police sure they have the right man and old criminal. Mr. Huffman paled and dropped his paper. An old criminal? Yes, he knew it to be true. For and in that robbery of many years before he himself had been associated, and now Harold had returned to continue his course in crime. What should he do? Fearing to breathe to his young wife the cause of his agitation, he hurriedly donned his coat and hat and left the house. The Huffman home was now recognized as one of the happiest, as well as one of the finest in the city of Oakland. Mr. Huffman was well known throughout the city as a man of sterling integrity and large business acumen, and prosperity had smiled upon him from the first day that he turned his feet to the way of Christianity. The past had been forgotten, but not until Mr. Huffman had made restitution so far as he could for everything he had ever taken from a fellow man. He had gone to the man whose home he and Harold Wilson had entered and confessed his part, and paid back with compound interest the money he had taken. Why then should he be anxious? For Harold's sake. He had trusted God would help him to redeem his old pal in sin, and led him to be a fellow worker in righteousness. But Harold had fallen even lower, and perhaps the uncorrected and forgiven past, now coming to light, would serve to defeat the purpose he had in mind.